Alright, so we are live. This is a deck I've wanted to work on for a bit, and it's not quite the same as some content creators have made. Now, a lot of cards are going to be in common, it's just the nature of the deck. With Terra, so my goal for this particular deck is to build a deck that can leverage Terra, Herald of Hope, and in paper, Dahada. Now, Dahada is a Legends-based Planeswalker commander that allows you to... its plus ability allows you to make your creature indestructible, vigilant, and all this if it's a legend. Its minus allows you to fill your graveyard, and then its ultimate basically steals all permanents in the game. Terra, Herald of Hope. The main thing around it is power 3 or less. So a lot of the cards in this deck are going to be legends, mainly because of that. There are probably better copies of things if you're trying for, kill spells, if you're trying for, particular effects. But the reason why I'm going with legendary is largely because in paper I eventually want to build a deck around both Dahada and Terra, Herald of Hope. So we have a lot of legends in the deck. Not all creatures in the deck are legendary. We have Fury, Solitude, and Grief, just because these three are so good to play with the deck. We also have, the the MDFC lands, Witcher's Enchanter, is another one that's non-legendary. I'm trying to see if there's any other. Priest of the Fell Rites, because it's a reanimation spell. But a lot of the other things in the deck are just legendary. Play around that, we're using things like Urza's Ruinous Blast, exile all non-land permanents that are legendary. And then the rest of the deck is just, Esper Sentinel also is kind of a card that obviously is not. But otherwise, we're playing things like Screeve, which is a protection spell, and a legend, Zac Fair, which is also a protection spell. Cecil is one that I'm a little less thrilled about, but we'll see if we ever get a chance to play this. Obviously, Ragavan's just kind of dumb. Felia's kind of the good dog. Johnny, I don't know if there's going to be enough sacrifice outlets in this deck. I didn't overly put sacrifice outlets, like Broadside Bombardiers in this deck, etc. So we'll see if a Johnny gets to flip much. Thalia attacks our opponents, flowering on the white tree to make our creatures that much more difficult to kill. Goro. A lot of the slots, like Legend VD, and I think Amy the Amazonian were using Curiosity of the Red Curiosity. Instead, I'm using this red creatures you control gain haste, and it can also make dragons, potentially, although we don't have too many modifications. Croxa and Flage, the stuff we can bring back from the graveyard. Mary can draw us cards, although oftentimes it's going to die whenever it attacks. Olivia, Mobilized by War, is a way to dump creatures in the graveyard and give creatures +1/+1. Also gives us a couple vampires, which will be relevant. Gix allows us to draw some cards that cost us some life. Dorina can pump a team when it deals combat damage. Venet is an interesting one. It's from the Final Fantasy set. I kind of saw this when I was going through things. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, draw a card. This ability only triggers once each turn. Obviously, we have a lot of legends in this deck. Ramaz and Adeline are here for pressure. Thalia, just an annoying card overall. Lauren blows things up. Boromir is a protection spell. Rankle is pressure, card draw, etc. Yawgmoth, not the greatest in this deck, because we're obviously not a dedicated Yawgmoth deck, but is a way to draw some cards. People life sacrifice a human, draw a card. Chainer is a nice way to recast stuff from our graveyard. Eowyn is a conditional thing like, Fiend Hunter, Brutal Cathar, etc. Mostly it's only going to hit bigger creatures. Exile target creature and opponent controls with greater power. Legendary creatures you control gain protection from each of those creatures' colors till end of turn. Notably, this does not come back when Eowyn dies, so that can be quite nice. Celeste, Rune Knight, is one of the few creatures in this deck that is 4 power or greater, which can't be triggered by Sarah. What is quite nice is both sides of its abilities play quite nicely with Terra and then Solitude Fury. I mentioned the vampire sub-theme, Olivia Crimson Bride. Whenever Olivia attacks, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking, and it gains. When you don't control a legendary vampire, exile this creature, get another way to reanimate stuff, and then Aurelia, just a beater that helps to close out the game. Land base with a bunch of duels, playing a Plaza of Heroes. You do have an Arena of Glory to help give caste, Minas Tirith to help draw cards, and then Aganjo and Takanuma to rebuy stuff from our graveyard. So, see how this goes, and hopefully we will have a solid run with this deck today. So I did watch both Legend VDs and Amy the Amazonian version of the decks. And the deck is, its heart, both a grindy deck with creature recursion and a Mardu aggressive deck. So we do have to keep that in mind. Up against Fibblethip. Yeah, we'll try this one. Not the fastest hand, obviously, but we do have a Kaya's Wrath, which is one of the cards I've included that a lot of lists didn't have. I'd have both Dam and... I better not get hit with a Stifle here. I was going to say, Stifle would kind of suck. Yeah, let's grab a Living Parlor. Fell the Profane. Could use a fourth land, but I think I'm looking for something else right now. Takanuma. Play Lightning Greaves. Go ahead and Sacred Foundry here, play a Brawlz. Say opponent's countering something regardless of what we do there, so opponent should just let this one go. That is a very, how do I put this generously? This is a very curious play by our opponent. Play Yawgmoth. Get hit with like the millionth counterspell in this match so far. This is why I absolutely love playing against blue decks. They're so fun and so nice to play against and so entertaining, and anything in my graveyard that I absolutely care about. I guess Lelia is another card they might have to care about. Sure. You know, I think I'm just going to move on with my life. really don't like playing against counterspells.deck. It's kind of frickin' boring and annoying. And yes, I know I played a Tamiyo deck recently that had a ton of counterspells, so I can't say that I'm immune from doing that myself, but when I have an even, well, a fairly low to the ground deck and I'm still getting everything countered, it's really not that fun to play. So high bay, we are going to want to go quickly. Land tax. I guess we could run out. Is there any punishment for running out Mox Opal right now? Maybe. Sure. Chainer. This will just do Stalaga to annoy them. Johnny. Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. Definitely doing that one. Okay, play this one out. pet. We do really need to end this game fairly quickly, though. Okay. That's each creature. Yay. Johnny dies. Grab, I guess, a mountain. That was actually dumb. Draw a card. Alright, dear opponent, please figure out what you're doing. Guess they're debating if they want to chump with the bird. Okay, I got a 6. Draw a bunch of cards with the Sanctum of Calm Waters. Alright, what you gonna do, friend? Oops. Opponent just kind of accidentally killed themselves. Is there a way to gain life on board? There is not. Whoopsie. This is the way we wait on our opponent, wait on our opponent, wait on our opponent. This is the way we wait on our opponent so late in the evening. Nothing says, oop, I done goofed, more than I just killed myself. Okay. Spontaneous butthurt. My favorite. Brigid. Colcon's hurt. I think this hand's just a little too clunky. Try this one. Yep. Back streets back. Alright. Alright, so we'll go pitch signet. Good doggo. Okay, so back streets back, alright. Put that one in the yard for now. We're not Screeve. Go ahead. Strawberry wine, 17. July. Okay, so we have all three colors. We're just going to play Terra out. Alright. You have a reprieve or something dumb? Okay, now a couple lands. Sure. Proceed. Sure. I feel like our opponent should probably be trying to counter-race us. Yeah. Is there any reason to play anything pre-combat? Don't think so. A couple cards, attack with you two. Draw a card. Nothing down in my graveyard to bring back, so. Opponent's definitely got something. Problem is, I don't know what it is. How many removal spells do you have? Okay. With 4 cards in hand. I think I'm fine with this trade. Alright, and don't think we have a reason to make a move. Surveil here. Blasting it to the yard. So white, white. Red, red. Flowering of the World Tree. So one card that could be relevant would be something like Settle the Wreckage. I don't think it's a card that's frequently played, but I mean, they would have fired up Univolt. They could have gotten in some damage here. have something to bring something back from the graveyard, maybe Helping Hand or something like that. Nope, just proceed. Sure. Alright, so start by bringing back he's still Dash Monkey here, so I think we're going to go ahead and take the opportunity and do that. Kill that. Dash Monkey. Since I'm playing that, since we have our own. And in case they have something dumb like a Gonjo. Okay. Problem for our opponent. I say they're still did Duragavans, so despite them having multiple sweepers, I don't think we're really in any truly danger there. Miratu, Courier of Dawn. Which other non-target draws persist? Interesting. His hand has a mana problem, so I don't think we can keep it. Definitely keep this one. Probably fetch out what, like, I guess we're gonna shock this in, play land tax, say go. Keeping in mind we don't have a ton of lands to get with land tax. I think we have a total of 7 and one of them's already in our hand. So it's not like this is going to tremendously thin our deck, but hitting land drops is important. Okay, I mean, that's fine. I'm still functional. considering Swordsing that, maybe? Grief is an interesting card against us. I feel like you either take Fel the Profane. Okay, so they take Aelin, which is interesting. Elegant Parlor, Raucous Theater. Guess we'll just get the Sabai-Triome. Not playing Fel the Profane there, because we could both use it as a removal spell and force our opponent potentially to play more lands. Terra is Terra. Yeah, something like Solitude, good for them. No good attacks there. I mean, here's the problem. If you want to continue limiting your development because you don't want me getting advantages from land tax, I mean, I'm ahead on mana currently. Okay. Sure. Yeah, they... Nice. Oh well. That was my stupidity. Shocker. I'm holding on to lands. Okay, Boromir no longer has a free attack. I'm sure they have a kill spell here. 6. Go to 3. I kind of wish I'd played my lands earlier. And we're just dead, so. Curious moves by our opponent to play around land tax. That's the second opponent that I've seen deliberately missing their own land drops to play around land tax. Don't know if it's a good move, bad move, what it is. Jowl the Moonslayer. Alright, I'll keep this one. Mainly keeping it off the back of the fact that we have Mass Terra will come in and play tapped. If there's a turn to play a tap land, no. Right, opponent has Menace. Blood Moon, sure. They're going to bolt my commander. Used to look like they were. Decline. Zhao continues to do Zhao things. Ragavan annoying as ever. So for Olivia. Drana. Fury can kill what? Cecil? Or Drana? Okay. Alright. Red doesn't typically have ways to bring things back, so I'm not worried about that. I think cast this maybe 2. And our opponent concedes. So far, I've been fairly impressed when Olivia has been shown up, and that was one of the key cards in this build that I did kind of want to test. So, so we're going to want interaction in this game. No interaction, no early plays. Got a mullet in that one. This one at least has interaction. Probably put back. We don't run for right now, probably. Alright, so Elegant Parlor. Get this by a Triumph for right now. Okay, Brawlz will die. We need another land drop. Monster Manual. Creature cards, they get pox. Okay. white source. I'll grab the shrine, I guess. Adeline. Creatures that control haste. Oh boy. Okay, what kind of stupidity do you have? Well, that was dumb. Yeah, and the bad part is I kept, or put Witch's Enchanter back, or Lauren back going, oh, I won't need that. Turns out, yeah, I guess I kind of did. What? Alright, Prototype X8. Not familiar with that one. Card controllers. Cast sacrifice to conjure. Duplicate it up. Duplicate perpetually becomes a robot artifact. Initially, that's other types. This one's kind of missing mana, so I think I have to mulligan. This one isn't a whole lot better, but we'll try it. Yes, they have a looter. Okay, notably we don't hit another land. Which one's the best on Earth down there? Into Ragavan. Okay. Lord the Baelmerk, sure. Freaking Volatile Stormdrake. Okay, which they'll be able to play and take Sephiroth. Yay! Play that. The heck do they have in their hand? Discard a card or decline. Can we run through this nonsense? That goes to 10. Opponent's like, why can't it block? Okay. So I had debated the inclusion of Sephiroth just because we didn't have that many sacrifice outlets, but so far it's played quite nicely with. Okay. Sure. Go to 2. Okay, so you just killed yourself. Congratulations. I think honestly that's been our most frequent way of killing our opponent is Sephiroth triggers. Sammy Wildcat Captain. Is this the stupid one that... Yeah, spells have affinity for artifacts. We'll try this one. I'm gonna put that one in the yard. Legendary creatures or planeswalkers you control. So I can play this, but then I can't use Felia, so we'll just pass. Card, yes. Alright, so... 5th land drop. Okay. Goro. Probably should have milled that. Terra. Goro. Mill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3, 6, 8, 11, 13. Please don't tell me I'm walking face first into a Settle the Wreckage. Yep, and a Ganjo. And play their commander, but they don't have any artifacts. Okay, get more planes here, I guess. Play Terra. Get a couple of cards. The Flux Reservoir. Ragavan, Gain of Life. There's nothing down there, right? Yeah. Bless you. What you got there, friend? Sure. Gain of Life. I was gonna say they're dead to Terra in the air, and they're dead to Croxa if they don't leave a card in their hand. Just looking at this deck, I mean, there were a lot of cards we didn't get a chance to try out. We didn't get a chance to try out Aurelia, but Aurelia is just a blowout. Urza's Ruinous Blast didn't make an appearance. Rankle didn't show up in this, but it did show up in the one game I played off camera. Yawgmoth had a couple spots where it could have been interesting. Chainer, I mean, I don't think there was a single card that we played that I was disappointed in. Screeve and Zack help protect your commander. Cecil's okay. The reason I played Cecil, I wanted another 1-drop early creature, whether it be to turn on Mox Amber, whether it's early defense against things like Ragavan, early pressure. The other possibilities you have is Gideon and I think Issa Maru, as well as Tiny Bones and some others. I kind of like the 2/3 creature, even if we're taking a little bit of life loss. Reanimate's obviously awesome. Unearth has some spots where it was reasonable. Path and Swords are fine. Land tax, our opponents were playing around that a lot, and even if this is 1 mana, your opponent skips a land drop. Just the fact that we have so many artifact mana in our deck, we have Arcane Signet, Terminus Reborn, 3 Signets, 3 Talismans. I think, even your opponent skipping land drops, this is fine. And it is a way to hit land drops in a lot of situations. The Flowering of the White Tree is obviously good, especially when we're going wide. Goro was actually pretty sweet a couple of times. Inti, we never really took advantage of his discard, but it was fine. Kroxa has chance to shine that last game. Flage, Joshua is kind of like a seasoned Pyromancer-esque creature with some other positives to it on the other side. Olivia Mobilized for War, another discard outlet that also allows you to give creatures haste. Lelia is a little bit of a card advantage potentially. Gix kind of carried us that one game. Drana is kind of nuts when you're pairing it with Olivia, especially. Venat, the one turn we had a chance to play it, was actually quite nice. Celeste was fine. It pitches to all 3 elementals, allows us to resculpt our hand. Like I said, I'm sure there is some fine-tuning I could do with this deck, but I was very happy with pretty much every card we saw, and the fact that we're able to double up on our sweepers like Dam versus Ruinous Blast, Kaya's Wrath. I feel like this deck has almost enough in terms of interaction. So I was very pleased with the first round of this deck's draft, and I'll probably be working on it some more in my own time, not on the stream. But this was a pretty sweet deck, and obviously I wanted Terra to be able to be molded around Dahada as a commander, which obviously isn't available on Arena, but it is a deck that I have in paper. So a Johnny was pretty sweet. What other Sorin just doesn't make sense in this deck, I don't think. Is there any of the other flip commanders? We could potentially have run a Liliana or something. But the original flip commanders could run Gideon, I suppose, but I'm not sure if it's really what we're doing. Probably would be over Cecil if I ran Gideon. Sorin just doesn't make sense, so we don't gain that much life. Sephiroth Fabled Soldier, this is another card that I just kind of randomly threw in here, because I knew we'd have some token generators. We have Aline, we have Ramaz, you could potentially even run something like Krenko. And we just have other random creatures, we want to be blowing up our Lorens, we want to be blowing up our Witchers Enchanters to recur them. But the drain ability ended up being really relevant in some spots. So, yeah, this list was pretty sweet. But, anyways, hope to see you all for next week's stream. I want to thank my lovely wife for hanging out in chat, and anybody else that was viewing yesterday. And as always, hope to see you next week. See ya.